might get that bed around that tree there. No, just for decorative and.
David, Jefe, the boss, you what, man? $1.2 million for PlayStation 2 game? Uh, no. You did not even ask me, Don Jaffe, and you're crazy, man. Anyways, so here's a voice memo, and apparently, at least I'm recording a video memo to demonstrate how simple it is to just send a brief video update, audio log, blog, whatever it may be, text. With one is the same. It's called physical memory or something, to record and upload this as it would be for just the voice memo. And using the standard Samsung camera, it's like something like 100 megabytes per minute. And using this Camerify Live app, somehow it gets into the screenshot feature of the phones. iPhones versus Android have different screenshot options. It taxes the processor a whole lot less when there's no live display. For example, I just talked for 20 minutes blog, and I could tell it was crashing towards the end, so I turned the screen off for a while, kept talking. By the time I turned it back on, it was just gone. So I lost the whole thing. So what had I said? I said something about James Caan has a infamous Benz dealership in California. James Caan from The Godfather, he was Sonny Corleone. And so this scene here is what I was just trying to recreate, whatever. And what is about James Caan Benz dealership? It's like a BMW with attitude. I don't even know what. It's like having an attitude of a BMW, tailgated, road rage type thing. I'm trying to make a joke here. Anyways, so.
You what?
You what, man?
You made a deal for.
You made a deal for a measly $1.2 million on PlayStation 2 game, man.
Hung on my ass.
At 10.5 a key.
Okay, so what? So Montana Music Rights Society, man, is sort of like a conglomeration of people who claim credit for writing songs. Like, no, I wrote that song, and I'll tell you why. And so I'm hoping to expand, just like Montana says, in his distribution, man, East Coast, West Coast, South Side, North, everything. But everywhere. And that's like the idea of Montana Music Rights Society, man, could also be eventually incorporate Video Game Rights Society as far as reused assets across different companies. It's virtually the same stuff. There's just a huge delay when it comes to physical versus digital media in video games. As the great 1980s song said, video made the radio star. And so here's a PS2 Scarface, where it's funny how the Diaz brothers and Gaspar Gomez are featured in the video game. This was when the video started crashing. I'm going to go ahead and double check. Great. It is recording. Maybe I could go ahead and dip here, because after all, I had just typed this stuff. So the algorithm doesn't like voice logs. It doesn't like voicemail because it can't digest it. It can't process it very fast, even at hyperspeed, ridiculous, ludicrous speed. It doesn't like that. It does like text. And so when the algorithm gets audio, it translates it into subtitles and closed captions, and then it deciphers it with text. So one of the easiest ways to sort of, the word is not saute, it's not schmooze, right? The algorithm is to speak in kind of the universal English language, which even though I'm from the South, I don't speak with an accent. You know, there's people in the North United States that don't, you know, Yankees, the Yankee accent. Or I'm thinking of the quote from GTA 3, big tough Yankee boy, man. Anyways, so much stuff to mention. I'm just trying to think. Wow. Okay, so well, there's a few things. Another like massive overacting I thought of yesterday was in Twisted Metal 2, in the animation scene, there's a guy like on the ground and he's like yelling at Calypso. He's like, "Calypso, what have you done?" And what's so funny is that's like the song The Offspring from the 90s, Come Out and Play, of course referencing that 80s movie The Warriors, Come Out and Play, yay. And it's a well-known quote. If you don't know, I don't know what to tell you. And so in that song, he says, "Never-ending spree of death and violence and hate." And I was looking at the lyrics, and death and violence is hate spells Daber. Daber, kind of like Timmy or Jimmy from South Park. And it's funny. That's what's going on in video games, especially first-person shooter, multiplayer, online. Never-ending spree of death and violence and hate, Calypso, what have you done? Anyways, I thought about doing that, something involving that yesterday, so I'm just making a note. There's a few more things. I was rewatching Zombie Rob, Living Dave Girl song, music video, and it's sort of like a carnival theme in the 1920s, black and white, film grain, and it says Sideshow something. It doesn't say Sideshow. I don't want to say Bob because he has this like full expanded name. It's like really official. He's like a distinguished gentleman, Sideshow Bob. That, of course, is what I updated my avatar from Colonel Kurtz previously, and Penultimo from Tropico, advisor, top advisor to El Presidente in Tropico. All right, so let me get to the clipboard. This is good stuff. I don't know where to share this. I was going to share this on Facebook or something. I'm going to say it. This is the very beginning when I joined Star Report. How do I explain this to someone who doesn't know who Star is? Named Troy. First name Troy, last name Terrain. Neither his first or last name are spelled like they sound. They're unique spellings. I don't know what. A couple of days ago I heard the song Video Killed the Radio Star. I don't even think I heard it. I just, for some reason, was reminded of it. And I was like, that's great. The first thing next live chat, he's kind of like, whatever, I'm going to say that. And what did I say? Video made the radio star. And Star's a big follower of a guy named David who like pioneered early AM FM radio like 100 years ago. It's like he like looks up to this David guy. I don't remember his last name, from RCA or something. These companies go so far back into history. It's I'm finding it hard to believe. Anyways, so I went in and I said, so the thing is on my digital clipboard. These are things that I retract before I send. So they need work. And, you know, I wouldn't recommend saying these things out loud, even writing them. You know, they're copied onto my digital clipboard so that I can rehash it and like edit it into something that's the algorithm would like. Let me go back, say what I was going to say about the algorithm. I notice when it auto-generates my thumbnails on my YouTube that when I'm playing GTA and there's a picture of me and there's a picture of the car that I'm driving and it kind of looks like the car's going to run me over, because it automatically, you know, takes 3 screenshots for a thumbnail and somehow picks the best one, quote unquote, that it imagines or something that it thinks, the algorithm thinks that people, like humans, would like. And it's me almost about to get ran over by my car from the left side for some reason. That's like a repeated thumbnail, auto-generated, all algorithm. Al Gore would like this. himself, a former presidential candidate in the 1900s. So far so good. So what? Yeah. And for some reason, like side mirrors, I don't really understand. You know, that's like a visual thing, but as far as audio goes, you know, audio visual subject of the algorithm, what it likes, what it dislikes, you know, it likes text. It likes that we sort of are like primitively using this like 1800s technology of telegram and like fax and stuff rather than audio logs. They're the easiest way. And I like video too, so just because, why not? And, you know, there's a multitude of reasons I'm not going to get into anyways. I think it would be a mission statement for Don Jaffe Discord, Cult of Calypso, all type of things, to have voice logs. You know, there's a reason that Discord doesn't use voice logs, because the algorithm doesn't like this. Facebook finally added audio rooms. The algorithm doesn't like this. It's a universal algorithm across platforms. And so, alright, so I'm just thinking. If I turn off my screen, I might be able to think better. I don't know. It's just like looming at me, all this stuff that I had written yesterday. There's a story behind each one of these, and what about the algorithm? Something about it. You know, the algorithm doesn't want us, I don't know, for somehow, like the health of the algorithm will be broken if we just send a bunch of audio logs. Like it's not able to really, like, especially because so many people speak unclearly and it can't quickly translate or decipher audio into text. People don't speak. Did I already mention the accent thing? Whatever. Something about Don Jaffe Discord, and they don't want us to send audio logs. Whatever, man. So I joined the Star Report. He's like the radio character in George Lucas' first movie, 1960s American Story, American something, with Harrison Ford. And there's like a radio DJ guy, and his name is like, what? Jack? Wolfman Jack, okay? So I was in there, I said the darkest, here's just the first thing I said, because someone said something about the foundation of America. I said, well, the darkest figure in American history is, you know, Amerigo Gucci Vespucci, where the man who gave us the name America, he's the darkest figure in American history. I just realized that yesterday. And I just realized that also. There's a funny comment on that video. It's like the guy speaking Italian. It sounds like he says, I went to the bookstore. I don't know. I'm sure there's something there. Here was something that I don't even want to say out loud. I was instead of saying Will, like Will Smith, or like, not unlike Bruce Willis, but not too dissimilar either. Lil Cosby. Okay, instead, you know, Bill is another name for Will, blah, blah, blah. So Lil Louise, you know, Louisiana, ... Miss is simp. What was that word? It wasn't going to be purr. It was going to be something else. Mrs. Simp. Something. It's not even that important. So it's like the word sympathy over here. Okay? And like Empire State. So I'm thinking if New York is the Empire State, what is the Simpire State? I'm thinking like what you know, it's the sound of that. It's Mississippi. And I withheld that, whatever. And as I was looking over this a few minutes ago, I had a rap song in my headset. I was listening, and he said something about hate, and that rhymes with state. So, hypothetically, politically lyrically Miracle Whip, just like Butter by Rhymes Are Legit. So these are actually not legit because I had taken that rhyme from Digital Underground's song that premiered Tupac, like to the world, for the most part right here, in tall. I intentionally put an extra L, like too legit. Okay, so also like Troy's last name, terrain, the ground here. And so what Shock G says, Tupac, go ahead and rock this, like Chris Rock. All around the world, same song, I saw the sign, is how the algorithm sees it when I read the captions. So, a lot of people were talking about, some were saying facts, some were saying fake. I said Hollywood is fiction, as if John Rosebud Dixon and Sugar Free the rapper, the distinguished gentlemen professors, godfathers of the 90s, aren't doing that every day since the 70s. That's a long time. Definitely check out Sugar Free On My Way music video. I was about to try to recreate it today. I was going to put a robe on and reenact his dance moves in the video and just have like a couple of quips. Like his quip is, he shouts out in the 90s to the year 2025. He says 2025 in a big way. And what else is, the better one is, Sugar Free just dropped the bomb and it went booyah. So Tupac also, in his Ambitions as a Writer song, says, booyah, clown hose like it's mandatory. And I was going to have those two things on loop, and I said, forget it. I didn't do anything. And so here's the point that I had left Star's radio show, live chat, extremely live, 2,000 people watching. It was the most lit I've ever seen. People call into the show, like Don Jaffe said, when GTA 3 premiered in early 2000s on PlayStation 2, people were calling into the radio show and explaining what they're doing in the game. They were like, you wouldn't believe what I'm doing in GTA. I'm blah, blah, blah. The car was stole. I got my boys in the car. You running from the police. Now we got pulled over. You got to get us out of this. That happens in real life on Star's show. People call in and say that stuff. It's wild. Wild, wild stuff. And that movie title, Wild Wild West, I don't know what it is. Somehow related to a car dealership growing up here in Texas in the 90s, where it was like, I'm just trying to think, wow, wow, west, way forward, west, way forward. You know, 90s kids from Texas would like this. They would understand that. So what? I'm not going to read them all. I will indeed, hopefully eventually make part 2. I just don't want it to crash again and lose the whole thing. So John Rosebud Dixon, he is who the, is it, I think it's, what, for a double dose, is it Rosebud in the movie Idiocracy? It's like the last comedy movie. They almost didn't even release Idiocracy. It was so outrageous. There haven't been any comedy movies since then, and that is like a new thing to me. So, anyways, John Rosebud Dixon, he runs Sidewalk University on YouTube. It's awesome. Check it out on his channel. Sugar Free, the rapper I mentioned, he's kind of like Ice-T and Ice Cube, but instead it's sugar free. And like those little packets of stevia and all type of thing. He says the word nair, N-A-I-R, talking about hair in the song, and that was long before Nair, like the made-for-TV 1999 product, even became available. So that's probably where it originates anyways. Just random stuff. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know what those two links are. Might be to Kwame Brown's channel. I went in Kwame Brown, NBA superstar, turned into YouTube superstar now. I attended many of his live chats months ago, and now he's added the membership only. And so I was kind of I was like, this is outrageous. Anyway, so I said, Kwame, well, hell, you know, instead of Dre and Snoop, they dipping again from Dr. Dre's song, Forgot About Dre. I said, I said, your subscriptions might tank considering the huge demand that Big Willie Will Smith is finna join YouTube and outshine. Kwame's stunting like crazy for months. It's like for like a year or more. I mean, he has great vlogs. It's too hard to keep up with them all. Anyways, Will Smith would, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kwame, you have to indefinitely remove the membership only thing. You know, that's just my recommendation. I would say if Will Smith joins YouTube more actively as he already is. He's already active. What else? Yeah, I definitely didn't post that. Something was reminding me of that that Real Housewives reality show meme with the cat at the dinner table and it has like a salad on a plate and the cat's like offended. It's like looking at these ladies that are like crying and like pointing at like, that cat is about to eat my salad. It's like, it's not absurd, it's eerie. You know, we regular people are discussing celebrities, people incredibly rich and famous, like 1900s like relics. We're like debating on stuff that happened in the 1900s, and it's the third millennium. You know, it's the 2000s. So, yeah, something about Splash World. I still can't even remember. There's that movie about a whale. You know, they're sitting in the front row seats. The whale splashes people. Like that's like how it thinks that it gets fed is by splashing people, and everybody like is like woo and like laughing and stuff. That's kind of like what comedians are. Loveless was the villain in the Wild Wild West movie. I had just watched that music video, and not 10 minutes later, the news broke about what happened at the Oscars. We were in Star's chat dissing Will Smith. Someone said Wild Wild West. That's all they said, because Star was telling the story of how he was raised in New Jersey, went to New York, and now he lives in the South. And he went out west, you know, and someone in the chat said Wild Wild West, and so I said, and I was thinking like the chorus of the song, it's Cisco singing straight to Wild Wild West, and so I said straight outta Camden, New Jersey, straight to Wild Wild West, of course, Compton, and there's also Camptown, Pennsylvania, as in a Camptown ladies song. It's an old song from the 1800s. I'm quoting Eazy-E here. Here comes my left blow, pow. Cassius Clay, Chris, Cassius. One naughty joke, one nice joke. Chris Smith, of course, St. Nick, Christmas. Willie dancing a jig with the window crack low. Holla back, Hollywood, money ain't a thing though, pow. And that is quoting Jay-Z's song featuring Jermaine Dupri. Hard Knock Life Volume 2 album, Money Ain't a Thing song. Check it out, music video. Here's quoting Willie D, all gas, no brakes, from one of his music videos, I don't know. Anyways, Holly Will wouldn't like this. Holly Will won't. Holly wouldn't. Natalie would. Bruce Willis can will us out of this. Willie D live crew, whatever. Disclaimer, I don't know. Willie D had blocked me a few weeks ago for dissing Lil Bill Cosby. Whatever. Forget it. Bruce Willis can will us out of here. I'm quoting De Niro in The Deer Hunter. The prisoners of war, POWs, are being held in a Vietnamese camp. Christopher Walken, not to be confused with Christopher Wallace, aka Biggie Smalls, and Robert De Niro's character, you know, the guys, they're telling him to smile, but it sounds like, smile, smile, diddy mow, diddy mow. They're saying that, like, for them to smile. And I think that's funny. Will at Sunset Boulevard getting ready for his close-up, Mr. DeMille doing Hollywood a huge favor, Big Willie style. Jiggy Jig, that's a quote from The Last Boy Scout, I think, with Bruce Willis. He's like, you know, I'll dance a jig when all this is over. You know, getting jiggy with it. Will's Jiggy Jig was Wild Wild West, James West versus the Loveless villain from the 1800s. Great movie. ZZY Style, that's again from Digital Underground. Dirty Deeds, referring to the terrain. Never ever once have you ran with the turf, yet in every verse you claim, your clique you claim as an MF and crew, a record company, all that. Did he wrong? Whew. Alright, so before my phone shuts down, that is all for now, though. Don Jaffe Discord and others. There was something here. Okay. Oh well. Apparently that's all for now. Wow. Okay, I'll upload Facebook and YouTube. That's all.